midday video for everyone, for the public, for the private, for everyone who wants to tune in. It's 12:20 on November 19th. At this point, before I get going, there's a few things I have to do for compliance. One is you have to read this disclosure, and two, before I get going, you have to actually look at my positions. Okay, so by the way, this is the virtual trading floor. So it actually traps everything live. So this shows what I'm in. Some things, actually something I'm out of from today. You scroll down, so I'm in Facebook, I'm in the small caps, I'm in CLVS, Bank of America, Tesla, Amazon, Disney. This were old calls that went worthless, and then the Tesla call spread that we talked about in the video yesterday, which I'll get into. But I've been, using a SPY to trade around where I short more in the morning, I cover, go back and forth. Either way, I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm also short some. I'm short some Apple calls and some Microsoft calls, which are open. Anyway, so the first time I had to show this, it's all different. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the midday call. So at this point, let me tweet out the link. So Michael will tweet it to me, and I'll get going. So all in all, this is this is the what's it called, the spies, right? Hugging the 8-day all the way up. Everyone's trying to second guess this rally. Everyone's trying to say, oh my God, it can't continue. But meanwhile, this was the pro gap that happened right here. Okay, and that was what we stayed above pretty much since October 11th and 12th. So 296 to here, that's a nice range. And there's been a lot of ways to do it. Remember last week I was talking about how we had to hold the 8-day. You could have had a hedge on and made money almost on your hedges. If you sold strength and bought a dip, you stayed with a hedge and you stayed with your positions. When I'm in portfolio approach, what I do is I'm holding usually 6, 10, 12, 15 names. It all depends on the day. If we gap up, I usually reduce a little bit in the direction of the gap. And then I add to my spider hedge if I'm using spiders as a hedge. And then if, we gap down, I cover some of the SPY hedge, make some money there. And then I buy some of the strong names that sometimes go green and I sell them and make some cash flow. And then I keep my existing positions. So that's what I call portfolio approach. And I've been in portfolio approach ever since right here. I wasn't in portfolio approach here. We were below the 821 day, especially this ugly bar and this topping tail. Anyway, this is when, we were kind of on alert as it tightened up and you had the descending trend line gapped up. And this is the start of this new active sequence that's going, really well. So let me see if the link is here because I want to make sure that it's, there it is. Come watch live. Here you'll see it. Come watch live. Mid day video. Meanwhile, some of you guys are like, oh, how could you be in here? You're carrying 7, 8, 9 positions because I have stops in the right places, I think, and I'm hoping they don't get stopped out. But anyway, that's that. The Q's still trending. Got above this 203.29. Couldn't hold it. Came back below. What did it do? Oh my goodness, what a quinky dink! And held the 8-day, this little light blue line the entire time. So still looks good. If you sold it in the first 5-15 minutes, you were able to buy it back. Anyway, the IWM is kind of interesting here, guys. I added to it. I am in more IWM than I had overnight. Why? Because it's above this high, it's above that high. I know I added here when, what was it, a week ago, and I lost money because I had a great price in here, added here, and then that happened. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but, the first time in a while, we've seen some real relative strength here, guys, in this overall channel. So you have this overall channel here that's been intact for a year. Now you have a great looking bull flag. So if you're sitting in it from 2 weeks ago when I said be long the IWMs, then that's great. You're ready to rock and roll if it breaks out. If you trade actively and you add to it, you'll make more money if it's right. But if it's not ready, you're gonna ruin your average cost. So just be careful. But ultimately that looks pretty damn good. As far as other things like what am I in? Facebook to me is one of the best looking charts out there. I started focusing it right here. What got me back involved in Facebook, because I wasn't in it since this day. This wide range bar put me back in the loop with Facebook. Then this inside day right here got me bigger. And then yesterday it opened down. You could have bought it. And then boom, I talked about it. I put this chart, I think, a bunch of times in here on the public and the private Twitter. So hopefully you made some money there. And still looks good. It kissed 200 for a second. And where is it right now? It's back to 199.40. That's good. I do think there's a chance it gets above 208.60, looking good. What's been great about this market is that every few weeks there's been something to focus on. A month ago, my focus was Apple when we weren't at all-time highs. It was looking great, trending above the 8-day, and I was in it, and it was great. There were lots of ways to really get in there and make a lot of money, which I did pretty well. Hopefully you did too. Remember that video that I did here? This was the earnings day, I said I has to get above 245 and hold it, then we could add above this, and that was the case, and now it's been trending this whole way. I am not long Apple right now. I've been long Apple for pretty much since October, I would say 90% of this time, or maybe 85% of the time, whatever. Here was a great spot. This was a great spot. Even right here was a good spot. And here, I don't think it's such a great spot. It's trending. It looks fine. But so what I did is, I'm trying to be cute. I sold the 270, 250 calls for like 40 to 80, 48 cents for Friday. Hopefully it doesn't get there. I keep the premium, and that was a way for me to continue to play Apple and trade around. You could buy a dip or you could sell strength. I decided to sell some strength. Microsoft also was absolutely fantastic. When was I in it with size, or when was I trying to really, maneuver it and just, I don't know, just make a lot of money? That's what we try and do, or a consistent money. Well, that was right here. Verse this. Buy here, verse out, calculated. The reason why I wanted to be in it is because look at the size of this channel. Huge channel. You break above the channel, usually 132 to 140. That's 8 points. Anyway, I was long, decent amount that day for that contract. Sold a little strength, and then it was consolidating. If you remember, I put in Twitter saying, hey, you could buy verse, meaning buy verse this 42, because that was the low. If it was going to be special and hold that gap, that was the pivot. And then, you had a cash flow buy when it cleared this area of 144.70, 145, and now look. So it did take this out. You just saw the VTF. I had orders higher. I probably just got filled. Shorting the 152.5. So I'm short the 152.5. Where is this right now? 151.26. All right. I think I must have sold them for like 35 cents or more. With the leader that's overbought, in my opinion, I feel comfortable selling some naked options. I never sell naked options on like a bio that can be bought out, or a mid-cap name usually. It's on whether it's an ETF or leaders that I would like a cute short, but instead of a cute short, which I still did because I actually made money short Microsoft, I shorted 51s and covered pretty well, but that's besides the point. So it's extended. Look how extended it is from the 8-day. I do not like to buy names extended from the 8-day. Instead, I try and make some cute cash flow. It's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days up. So if you say, hey, I just heard about Microsoft, it's doing great. You know what? You're not allowed to buy it. Even if it goes higher, you missed the right prices to buy. Anyway, that's that. If you remember, I did a video on Twitter. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Talking about why I'm in Tesla and why I think you could do a call spread that could make you 300% if you want to be in it for the next 3 months. So what's Tesla doing today? It was acting strong before I walked in here. This was the day I did the video. I'm still long versus 341.50. I actually added today when it went green. Looks like it's trying to take out this 356 and change. Went as high as 347. I posted this chart earlier showing 380. I think it could work towards 380. This is the strategy. If you don't trade actively like me, and you want to be in it just in case it has another great quarter and good guidance, which I do think it could happen. What I did is I bought the call spread. I bought the 380s for, I think they were 23 bucks, and then I sold the 420s for $13. Why did I do that? Because I feel like once it gets above 380, if it gets above 380, a quick move is going to be, to this 420. So by buying the 380s, you have room to 420, and then I sold the 420. So now my cost is $10. And if I'm right, from 380 to 420, that's $40. You make 30. That's a nice percentage move, and your risk is $10, and it's defined. Besides trading it, so that's the two ways I went about with Tesla, and hopefully it works out for me and it works out for you if you take, if you're doing it with me. A lot of guys are doing a lot of things with me because I'll tell you what. I'm kidding. I do have a little bit of a hot hand, but I don't want to jinx anything. It's been a really good October, November. So anyway, that's that. What else is going on? Did I say that IWM looks better? Yes, it does look better. It's trying. I am in Tesla. Oh, Amazon. So Amazon has been horrible. Amazon sold in strength every single time. So finally, yesterday we had a red dog reversal. I tweeted you guys saying I'm almost embarrassed to say I'm buying Amazon for a red dog reversal. It was at 1732, which was great because it closed strong. I sold some at 1759. That's what, 17 points, and I held some. So at this point, it's been a little wishy-washy, but I'm trying to stay with it. Trying. Okay, so now this was your red dog reversal at 1732. Here's your descending channel, which it's not really showing power, but for now, since I held through this, this is my new stop. What is this low here? This low here is 1743, so that is my stop. I bought some here, took it overnight, was able to sell some up $8, so I made good money yesterday, some money this morning. I held a little bit because I sold it well and bought it well. I was able to let it go back and forth a little bit and try not to be perfect. Lately, being perfect in this market, you'll get stopped out. You give things a little bit more space with a little less size, and things can work out for you. So we'll see how it goes. Where is this now? This is 1754, not so bad. What else? Somebody was asking about Snap. I did not get back in Snap. Wow, I missed it. Descending channel. Hopefully you got in there. I didn't. The CO sounded good yesterday. Twitter. It's annoying and nothing going on here. Maybe you can get to there, but I wouldn't overtrade it. Just have a stop there. I'm still in Bank of America. I've been in Bank of America since here. I'm not adding to it. I'm just selling strength, and so far it looks decent. Not a barn burner, but it's one of the positions. The CLVS was the little one. Got downgraded today. I don't know if that was, it was $8 pre-market, but it did get back to $8, so I was able to sell some. So now I'm just trailing it. I still think, it could do better than what that guy said. But anyway, that's that. IBB has been in fuego. I haven't even been trading it, but you don't have to be in everything to make money. Wow, what happened here? This is the last time I listed the IBB. I'm like, oh, look at the descending channel here. Gapped up, held it, and it's been maneuvering it ever since. Congratulations if you've been making money there. I've been more in tech. Wow, that's a nice trend. Look at that 8-day moving average. Here it's below. You're away. You're not in it. It's resistance. It's resistance. Oh, look at that. First move up, held it, and then it's been riding it ever since. That's why I always talk about, even here, when it looked wishy-washy, what do we call that? We call that a red dog reversal. Why is that a red dog reversal? Bunch of days down, traded below the prior low, then engulfed it. Anyway, there's lots to do, guys. Just make sure you're not complaining. Make sure you're not following the guys that think the world's going to come to an end, because trading as if the world's going to come to an end is not a trading plan. It's a thought, and it's an opinion. People have been saying it for 10 years. And if you look over the last 100 years, historically, the bull market does win. So you're better off having a process and a plan, especially a long-term one. Long-term, hopefully you put monthly flows in, so this way you could save for your retirement, for whatever it is. You maybe 529 for your kid who's going to college, who's 4 or 5. And then if you trade for a living like I do, you have to make sure you have a lot of things that you know. Trends, chart patterns, tier system, sell rules, buy rules, discipline, stops, you name it, it could be done. And there are a lot of guys here at T3 doing it. So listen, if you're finding yourself with a lack of ideas, and you like my ideas that I post here and there, but you're like, you know what, I don't know what he's doing with them, or I don't know if he's adding, I don't know if he's taking off, I don't know what else he's looking at. Sometimes he posts something and I'm like, oh, he's selling it, I didn't even know he was buying it. Well, if you want to be in the know, I'll tell you right now, you should be clicking this. Okay, this is t3live.com/RAI. Come and try it for a month. There's only 1.5 months left of 2019. So if you feel like you didn't have a good year, you know what? You should be clicking this, because there's been lots and lots of great action, lots of great ideas, lots of active sequences, lots of stocks to maneuver, lots of breakouts, lots of red dog reversals, lots of downtrends broken, lots of H-cell setups, all things that we use. So click this. Okay, take a little accountability. What do I mean by accountability? I mean, stop complaining about the action, because there's been lots of tradable moves, lots of ways to make money. And if you want a little help, we have a huge community, lots of people, everyone's trying to help each other. Everyone's talking about ideas, helping breed conviction, breed positivity. So if you're thinking clearly, you could execute clearly. And at this particular point, let's take one more look at where things are at. Where's little Tesla? Is it still moving along? That would be nice. Let's see, Tesla hanging up there. Oh, look at that, breaking above. We did this yesterday. What's Facebook doing? Okay, it's still above the prior day's high. This was your add-on point. And where's the IWMs? Getting a little better. I didn't look at Google today. What's Google doing today? A little weaker. Has to hold the 8-day. That's what it did the last time. What's Netflix doing today? Netflix opened up and was sold, but it held in there. Said as long as it holds 296, it's okay. What's Roku doing at the secondary? Oh, look at that. Right to the 8-day. Isn't it good to know where the 8-day is? Look at that. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was a buyer here. I added here, sold here. Thought I was a genius, and then that happened. Anyway, it happens. For now, you can take this out of the way, and not bad. Held the 8-day, a little sideways action, and then at some point, maybe there'll be a trade above this pivot back to all-time highs. But either way, unless you have a proper roadmap and a plan and know what you're looking at, you're flying blind. So don't fly blind. Come hang out with the crew, get on board, and I'll see you on the other side. Good luck for the rest of the day.